nesters, welcome back to another episode of Nesting Haven. We are doing some Goodwill thrifting today, and so right off the bat I ended up going over to the handpick section. Just seems to be the direction I tend to go to now because they do put decent stuff over there. Oftentimes it's things that I would typically buy if it was on the regular shelf, but I don't always get things in this section because they do price it up a bit more than a thrift store typical price. This duck was super cool. I believe it's one of those things you'd put outside and maybe hide a spare key under. It was really heavy. They were asking $30 for it. A cute little vintage baby mobile. I believe that's supposed to be a lion. Pretty adorable. Now, what is this adorable duck doing way down here on the floor hiding in the basket? They had these really great hobnail milk glass votive holders. I like that they were pedestaled and had the hobnail to them. I couldn't find a price. There was a sticker laying there. I believe it said $8. It didn't say set on it. Usually in this section, if they have things linked, they'll write set on the sticker. I just wasn't sure if they were selling them together, so at $8 or $8 a piece, I figured I'd just go ahead and pass. Milk glass is hit or miss for selling. So I don't too often find vintage pink items, so I thought this was a really nice piece. I don't know the maker of it. It did have these numbers written on the bottom, which usually when I see that it also says Italy. So I'm not sure that this is Italian though. It does have that really pretty gold flake on it. They were asking, I believe, $6 for it. You can see it has some nice dimensional design on the side there as well. I thought it was beautiful. Okay, so somebody's going to have to explain to me why this is a compass. It looks like a compass, and it actually plugs into the wall. In my experience, you use compasses when you're walking out in the woods, trying to know which direction to go in. I don't know why you would need a compass plugged into your home, for example, so I was really confused by that item. I was able to find a swung vase, which was kind of exciting, but it was clear glass, which is definitely less desirable. It also featured this frosted rose design at the bottom of it. So, at $15, I definitely wasn't going to give it a try. I believe it would have only sold for around $20, so it wasn't worth grabbing. So this old farmhouse style box got my attention. I thought it was really neat looking. They're asking $50 for it. I did go ahead and glance at comps on it, and that's about what they go for. It originally had came with a cast iron set inside of the box, and through my research I actually found out it's not really that old. It was actually made in China, at least the ones I saw that looked exactly like it, so I'm assuming this one probably was as well. And it was just made to look older, but it was still really neat. On the table, they had this beautiful vintage Silvercrest bowl in the Spanish lace pattern. You'll see it on the side here in a second. Very beautiful. They're asking $30 for it. Definitely no room to make any money reselling it. And it might even be a little bit overpriced because when I looked up comps, the last several solds were selling between $10 to $20. So, I mean, depending on who wants it and how many are available at the time you list it, you could shake it out and maybe make a little bit on it, but for the most part, it seems to go for around there. I need to get better about remembering to bring my blacklight with me because this definitely looked like uranium glass to me. A beautiful long-stemmed compote dish. They were only asking $6 for it. I personally am not into the uranium glass, so I didn't want to get stuck with it if it wasn't uranium. But it's definitely a hot item to pick up right now. There's a lot of collectors for it at this current time. So if I can find it cheap enough, I definitely tend to grab it. These candlesticks were absolutely gorgeous. They're asking $20 for the pair. I don't know if I've ever seen a stein with a lid on it in person before, so that was kind of neat to see. Behind it, I found a piece of the splattered glaze pottery from the 70s that I collect, and it was just this adorable little planter. They're only asking $6. I thought that was reasonable enough, and I was happy to pick that up and add it to my collection. I actually really regret not picking this next piece up. It was a beautiful redware rooster. It was a good size. They were only asking $10 for it, and it seemed to be in phenomenal shape. Something like that, I feel like there's a lot of people that like to collect roosters, and it was a solid one. Wasn't, you could tell it had good quality to it, so I definitely should have grabbed that. I could have made some profit there. Collector plates are really more about the image on it, not so much the collection. I don't think people are really trying to seek out all of the plates in a collection. They tend to just want to decorate with one or two of them because they enjoy the image. This was a nice hobbyist piece. It would have been a hand-painted ceramic. Someone probably did around the 70s when it was really popular to do so. They're only asking $3 for that. I always like to check out the different planters they might have. This one was really neat. I love all the different compartments in it, perfect for a little herb garden or strawberries. And I think it wasn't too expensive. It did have the drainage hole in the bottom of it, so that's always nice. Sometimes I find planters that don't have the drainage hole, which is kind of weird, but yeah, not too bad of a price. I think it was $6. So if you've been subscribed to my channel for a while, you know I don't typically purchase ashtrays because of moral reasons, just because of family history and, you know, sad things. So I don't usually buy them, but this one was so beautiful. I love how long it was. And I believe it was Drew on the Crazy Lamp Ladies channel a couple of years back, I think about when they first started. He had mentioned that you could use an ashtray as like a little pen holder or for like a paintbrush. So that's always stuck with me. And when I saw that one and it was a longer size, it's absolutely what I thought it could be used for. I found these plates to be really interesting because they were of a certain town, and I don't see that. Usually it's just state plates that I see, or something that's really prominent. Guilford, Maine's not something that, you know, is on too many people's radar, so it's interesting that they were making collector's plates to kind of honor and commemorate their area. In the back here, they had this beautiful pink swan. It's a 1987 Devar. Only $1 for it. It was in great shape. I thought it was really cute. I like the size to it. And I figured there's a lot of swan people. It seems like swans are becoming pretty popular right now as well as the pink color. So I thought that would do pretty well. So this next piece, I've come across them before, but they've always been stove up pretty good. So when I saw this and it was in great shape and only $1, I thought that was pretty cool. It's a vintage 1991 FTD vase. This poor guy just looks like he's having a bad day. It's actually probably a mama. You see that little metal piece on her neck. I bet she had little babies that went with her. But only $1. It is a vintage Japan piece, and I believe the ear was re-glued on that as well. So I kind of wanted to get it, but, you know, with the damage, I don't think I would have been able to resell it. How darling were these little handmade bears? $3 a piece. If I had a little girl, I probably would have grabbed this adorable little Amish doll for only $1. I did look at comps on those because I'm not familiar with it, and they aren't selling the greatest, about $5 essentially. A lot of them were sold in lots of two for around $10, so. I spied the Otagiri cat picture and this owl at the same time, and I was a little hesitant there. I was like, which one do I grab first? So this was adorable. The ears were slightly chipped, but not too bad. And then here is that amazing Otagiri picture with the beautiful dimensional cat on it. Only $3 they're asking for that. So I have this thing for United States souvenir pieces, and I also have a thing for trivets, so this kind of works out. But this is a really neat Mount Vernon piece. Has all the different important pieces of this place. I actually really like to visit here, and it says it's open to the public every day of the year, so I might just have to put that on my to-do list and go check it out. I think that'd be really neat to see in person. I try to steer away from bells because I don't have very good luck selling them, even though I always like to look at them and they make some really beautiful ones. This one here, I couldn't tell if it was a souvenir piece or if that Leavenworth was maybe someone's last name because it said something about a friend, so I don't know. Is there a Leavenworth place that's a popular destination somewhere? That cat was cute, but it's not really worth a whole lot, and the eyes were kind of janky. I'm gazing the shelf here, not thinking I'm going to find anything, and then last minute I saw this beautiful butterfly vase, and it was a souvenir piece. So I'm sure you guys can guess where this ended up. I thought this next piece was really great, perfect for a nursery. You hang it on the wall and store all your little baby needs, like your lotions and your combs and stuff like that. And they're only asking $3 for it, and it's actually a vintage 1985 piece, so it was in really great shape. I thought it was really cute. So I spied this purple item on the bottom shelf. I don't find purple things too often, and I just thought it was so great. It was a really good quality piece, only $3, and you see how the handle has that little divot on the top? I believe that's a spoon, so it's like a little sugar dish, and you can use the lid as the serving spoon. How fun is that? So this ivory cream vase caught my attention. It ended up being a Lenox vase, which Lenox seems like it should be an expensive brand, but it doesn't seem to sell very well. It was $3, and I decided to take a chance on it because it actually had these leaves at the bottom, and where fall is coming up, I thought it'd be a great addition to someone's decor, so I was willing to take a chance on it. Let me know if this has ever happened to you. They had two matching compote bowls here in the milk glass. Not this one, but there's another one on the end here. And they had two different prices on it. One was marked 10, one was marked 15. Now, I didn't look as closely at it as maybe I should have to kind of, see why the price might have been different. Maybe there was a chip on the $10 one or something. But they're beautiful compote bowls, but the two different prices kind of cracked me up. I'm not really sure the age to these canisters here. One unfortunately had a pretty big chip in it, but I looked at them because I like sunflowers and I think sunflowers sell pretty well. I was stoked to see these cocoa mugs sitting on the shelf in the brown top stoneware. I collect this stuff, but upon further investigating, there was a few chips along the rim of it, so I don't really want to get something I'm going to drink out of that has a chip in it along the edge there. So unfortunately, I end up leaving them behind, but yeah, you see the chip there. Such a wicked bummer. I also would have preferred if they had four because I have a family of four, so I guess it probably was for the best. They had this beautiful set of 4 different colored grape coffee mugs by the American Vineyard collection. I looked up comps just because I had never seen these before, and they were really neat. It didn't seem like it was something people were really looking for. I didn't see any solds on them, and there was like a couple other listings, and they weren't really going for too much. So I decided to go ahead and leave them behind. I try not to buy mugs anymore because I've never, it's not super profitable usually unless it's something really unique. I tend to just leave it behind these days. I did spy a Pyrex plate up here in the opalware for $3, and it ended up being pretty scratched up. You can see it very well. It's hard to film the top shelf, but yeah. Oftentimes when I find the plates, they do have some pretty big gouges in them, so I don't tend to get them. Immediately when I saw this plate, all I could think about was Saved by the Bell. I think Zach Morris definitely would have ate off this plate. What do you think? So I always try to keep my eye out for ironstone. I saw this beautiful bowl here. I believe it's ironstone. It's a little tricky when it's not marked for me, but there was a big chip in it. It had some beautiful red transferware in it as well, which does add to the value. Another thing I really like picking up are vintage butter dishes. I thought this one was really beautiful and nice Japan stoneware and good quality to it. And butter dishes can be decently profitable. I looked at these bowls because I swear those are the ones I used to eat my cereal out of as a kid. So I was curious what they even were. So I picked up this plate here because I could see it had a little bit of a dimensional fish in it. And I found pretty good luck selling things with fish on it for some reason, so I just wanted to check it out. So this is actually going to be a two-part video, so make sure you are subscribed to catch the rest of this Goodwill thrift along with me in tomorrow's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I super appreciate it, and we will catch you in the next one. Be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you then. Bye.